Hello everyone, I'm Norman Barrett. I'm the Chief Executive of Worldwide Cancer Research. Over the last 30 years, you've helped us invest over £180 million in cancer research at world-leading institutions. You've enabled teams of scientists to dedicate tens of thousands of hours to finding new ways to target and treat this killer disease. Right now, pioneering scientists in 20 countries are working tirelessly against cancer, thanks to you. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a very special way you can ensure this vital, life-saving research continues. As well as supporting us during their lifetimes, many of our supporters choose to remember us in their wills. A small gift in your will can also make a big difference. It can help to create a future where our loved ones won't have to live in fear of cancer. A future where better prevention, diagnosis and treatment will mean that no life is cut short by cancer. We all have our personal stories and how we've been touched by cancer. I'd like to share my own story with you right now. Why do we really support cancer research? Well, for me, it goes all the way back to the early 80s. I was working in Birmingham and I lost a work colleague to cancer. He was in his early 40s with a young family. And although I didn't know the family, it was a work colleague, not someone I socialised with, but it had a devastating effect on the office for a period of time. Moving to the mid-80s, I lost my grandfather to cancer. He had bowel cancer. This was a man I'd spent my early years going around Scotland with him in his lorry. He was a long-distance lorry driver. I went all over the place. I loved it. As I got older, I went with him during the school holidays. In later years, when he'd retired, I used to take him with me when I was driving around the country. Eventually, he got bowel cancer, and I was with him 2 days before he died, sitting at his bedside, holding his hand, talking to him. I don't even remember whether he could understand or hear what I was saying to him. But I was recounting those great stories that he used to repeat over and over again, that he used to tell me when we were driving all over the place. It was sad when he passed. I still miss him even today. Around 18 months after that, I lost my grandmother. She had stomach cancer. Unfortunately, I was down south. She was at home in Edinburgh. Last time I saw her was 3 months before she died. She was in pain then, and she was bedridden. And she continued to be in bed right up till the time she died. My mum and my aunt were with her, but unfortunately I wasn't there. Coming much more up to date, I've seen staff I work with have to go through cancer treatment. There's been members of the family at the edges of the family, if you like, who've died and had cancer treatment. However, my mum died just over a couple of years ago to cancer. I'm the eldest of 5 children, and mum loved nothing more than just before every Christmas we all get together at my sister's house to do a secret Santa. Lots of food, chatter, a little bit of drink, mum sitting at the top of the table, not necessarily taking part in all the conversations, but just smiling because all her family were there and she got to spend quality time with them. The last 2 or 3 secret Santas haven't quite been the same because mum's not there anymore, and what I'd give to have her still sitting at the top of the table. I was with her when she died, holding her hand by the bedside, as were my brother and sisters. It was quiet and it was peaceful, but the 6 months prior to that had been difficult. She'd been in a lot of pain and been on increasing amounts of painkillers. We watched that deterioration and wanted her to have a quiet and peaceful end, which in the end she had. We still miss her, we still think about her. It's just coming up to the anniversary of her birthday, and the family will get together and have a drink and remember her on that day. And as I say, we'll miss her at Christmas. So for me, cancer is very personal. in recent times, my best friend, we've been friends 50 years next year, had a scare with bowel cancer and had to have some treatment last year. Other family friends have members of their families who are suffering from cancer at the moment. It's always there, it's always around somewhere, which is what drives me to do the job that I do, and what drives me to say thank you to you for the support you've given us, and I hope you'll continue to give us, because you've all got your personal stories just like me. I realise that for many of you watching this film, a personal experience of cancer may well be the reason you support our work. I want you to know that I and all the staff at the charity really appreciate everything you do for us, and I hope you will consider leaving a gift to Worldwide Cancer Research in your will. By pledging just 1% of your estate, you can play your part in creating a better future for everyone touched by cancer. 1% is not a huge percentage of your estate. It will make such a difference to us. Thank you for your support.